So what happened in this case? It was seen that Angela, because of her fear that was so detrimental, was lured by Jay's business. Because of this credulity, Angela felt as if she no longer had a choice but to resort to what Jay was suggesting. As such, Angela paid plenty of money just to make sure that Jay's fortune for her wouldn't come true. However, days passed as if nothing really happened, and upon proper medical intervention, it was known then and there that Angela was deceived by Jay. Now, these facts must be addressed if there is in fact a legal ground to stand on. The regulating body for this matter is under the Department of Justice, the National Prosecution Service. Section 2 of Rule 112 of the Revised Rules on Criminal Procedure states that the following officers are authorized to conduct preliminary investigations. So there is A, provincial or city prosecutors and their assistants. B, judges of the municipal trial courts and municipal circuit trial courts. C, national and regional state prosecutors. And D, other officers as may be authorized by law. Their authority to conduct preliminary investigations shall include all crimes cognizable by the proper court in their respective territorial jurisdictions. Thus, after knowing the proper regulatory authority to look into the case, a preliminary investigation will then determine if there is in fact a sufficient ground to engender a well-founded belief that a crime has been committed. Further, this will also resolve if the respondent is probably guilty and should be held for a trial. After such, the lead prosecutor shall follow the necessary steps to assure that justice will truly be delivered. Now, what regulatory provision is applicable here? It was clear that J did then and there willfully, unlawfully, and feloniously defraud Angela by selling her paraphernalias to which Angela, because of being credulous, had to purchase to avoid any misfortunes. For this instance, the revised Penal Code of the Philippines is the regulatory law that will be applicable. Historically speaking, RA number 3185 or the Revised Penal Code was effected on December 8, 1930. This code is sourced to be a comprehensive compendium of all penal laws in the country. By using the Penal Code of Spain before drafting of our own code, such was in effect all throughout the Philippines. The code drafted in 1927 utilized the old code and appended other laws and amended the same to fit the situation and conditions in the country. Thus, the code penalizes acts such as taking life through murder, homicide, and abortion. Robbery, theft, treason, and espionage are also included. The code contains various elements that must be met before utilizing the power of law in penalizing individuals who committed the mentioned acts. Furthermore, considering the weight of the code, anything below the degree of proof beyond reasonable doubt will cause an acquittal of the accused. For this case, we can narrow the matter through estafa, most specifically under Article 318, the regulatory provision that can remedy this matter. This case falls under other deceits. The elements of the crime of other deceits under Article 318 of the RPC are as follows: A, false pretense, fraudulent act, or pretense other than those in the preceding articles. B, such false pretense, fraudulent act, or pretense must be made or executed prior to or simultaneously with the commission of the fraud. And C, as a result, the offended party suffered damage or prejudice. According to the case of Ginhawa versus the People, It is essential that such false statement or fraudulent representation constitutes the very cause or the only motive for the complainants to part with their money. Article 318 includes any kind of conceivable deceit other than those enumerated in Articles 315 to 317 of the Revised Penal Code. It is intended as the catch-call provision for that purpose with its broad scope and intendment. After a thorough procedure for the fraudulent case of J. Lansangan, the court will then deem it necessary to impose the proper penalty. According to the original penalty for the matter, it was a fine not exceeding 200 pesos. However, such was amended through RA 10951, Section 68. Hence, Article 318 of the same Act is hereby amended to read as follows. Other deceits, the penalty of arresto mayor and the fine of not less than the amount of the damage caused and not more than twice such amount shall be imposed upon any person who shall defraud or damage another by any other deceit not mentioned in the preceding articles of this chapter. Any person who, for profit or gain, shall interpret dreams, make forecasts, tell fortunes, or take advantage of the credulity of the public in any other similar manner shall suffer the penalty of arresto mayor or a fine not exceeding 40,000 pesos.